let's rewind the clock 10 years. Let's say you've got the same business you got right now, but you don't own the house that you currently own. And we'll stretch it. Imagine you don't own the assets and investments that you have right now. Would you buy a place to live in, or would you go investments and just go rent vesting?
Yeah, I've thought about this a lot. So it's something where I have to acknowledge that it's worked out for me, what I've done. So I'm not unhappy with my current situation at all. But was it optimum, and was it how I would do it again? Probably not. So I've gone through this, and I've really thought about the mistake or the thing I would change. I'm not going to say the mistake is that I wouldn't have so aggressively paid my mortgage off. I would have started investing earlier. So now these days, now that I've got more education and thought about things, is that I'm comfortable to have a mortgage on my own home and also invest at the same time. Like I missed out on many years of growth by not investing and having a mortgage at the same time, purely because I was so focused on business. So that's one of the key things we're looking at here. But I've also thought about something here that I wanted to introduce in the episode, because I kind of knew this question was coming, Grant.
No.
The thing I wish I looked to is that I really don't want my cost of living to be more than 35% of my income, or household income, I should say. If your partner does work or doesn't work, you can incorporate that. I think once you cross 35%, that you just severely limit yourself too much. Now, that's an opinion. I'm not going to say that applies to, all things there. But if your cost of living is, let's say, 50%, and then by the time you incorporate living costs like food or travel or entertainment, and there's just so little left over to do anything with, or reinvest in your business, invest in assets, whatever's appropriate for you, I think that's a danger zone. I think going 35% or less, ideally 30%, allows you to free up enough cash flow to be able to make important moves that can accelerate you in a big way, like a really big way. And again, use some examples. There's been times where we've hired people. It was expensive. It's been times when we've paid to get specific contractors or mentors in or use services. And it's like, if I don't have the cash flow to do those things because it's tied up in a house that's over what I can afford, the limiting factors are huge. If I don't have the resources to invest when market opportunities present or investment opportunities present, it's just such a hamstring to being successful. So I really want to drive that point home of like, that is the thing that I'm most concerned about, is people go too heavy on a house and then it ends up being the thing that holds them back for a long time.
Yeah, and because they get the pressure. They go, I need to sell something in order to make sure that I can pay off X, Y, and Z. Or that I need to make sure I can sustain this new level of lifestyle that I've had.
Right. Has your view changed since you've been going on the journey? Has it, like, again, you got to remember, for myself, it was like, I was just like, buy a house, pay it off. Exactly like that, by the way, that stressed. Yeah. But for you, as you're going through it, how's your view shaped?
On the couch last night, sitting there, we had quite a few people start like sharing asset blocks in quite a few Facebook groups, and so my phone was pinging. I was like scrolling down. I've just turned to Hazel. I'm like, damn it, I want to buy another investment property. And I'm just like, damn these people. So it's completely changed. For me, it's just a massive driver where I'm just like, well, how can I continue to grow my assets in order for me to increase my living, right? Because I always see that I don't want to live on anything that doesn't come out of my assets, right? That is like step one for me. But to your point, step number two is I don't just consider that the only income I have. I look at the business income as well as Hazel's income and factor all of that in, right? So if I've got the assets earning X amount and my cost of living is below or on par with X amount, everything I get from the business is just cream. And so if that is, imagine 100%, and the assets are bringing me in that 30% that I'm spending, that is such a good mix for me. So my biggest epiphany was that. It was like, how do I just live on cash that's coming in from assets and acquire more assets so that I'm asset income's actually turning into savings and buying other assets as well. And just because that's turned out to be around that 35%, now that's the game of going, well, how do I live in better places without impacting this? How do I continue that? And it's that ecosystem that you were talking about is almost the way I see our investments, is this ecosystem of like the business, the assets, our expenses. I'm like, do I pull expenses down? Do I increase the investments? Do I increase the business? Or like, what am I going to push and pull here based on where I want to get to? Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all and you want to dive deeper into wealth creation, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the post right now.